People, that was one of the most entertaining press conferences I've seen for a while. Phil LaGreco is an absolute savage. Jeez, that was hilarious. And there's a lot of people complaining and saying that LaGreco went too far. Eddie Hearn is saying he went too far, and certain boxers are saying he went too far, and there was a hostile crowd reaction to some of the things that LaGreco said. But as LaGreco rightly pointed out after the press conference in a couple interviews, he was only repeating what Amir Khan himself had said on social media. So LaGreco wasn't directly insulting Khan's family or Khan's wife. He was just telling Khan, or he was just pointing out the fact that Khan had said these things about his wife, you know? So he's just basically bringing Khan's dirty laundry back to haunt him. Savage. I thought Phil LaGreco was a revelation at the press conference. I mean, nobody had ever heard of him, and it was kind of disappointing when his name was called. And that's the first thing that he addressed, is he said, "Who the hell is Phil LaGreco? I'll tell you who Phil LaGreco is." He said, he was talking about Khan finally pulling up his skirt and talking about Khan having a glass chin, and he was just going in with the trash talk. And you know me, I love trash talk. So LaGreco brought plenty of it to the table. When he did bring up the things that Khan had said on social media and the stuff Khan had said about Anthony Joshua, Khan snapped and he threw a glass of water over Phil LaGreco. He didn't throw the actual glass, but he threw the water at him, and it kicked off into a little bit of a brawl there. And here's the thing about Amir Khan. Khan is so easy for opponents to rile. Opponents find it so easy to get under Amir Khan's skin. He's a hot-headed guy, and just proven by the fact that he put the things that he put on social media with regards to his wife and Anthony Joshua. That shows you how hot-headed he is. Even at the age of 30 or 31, whatever he is now, he's still got that hot-headedness in him. And the time when his hot-headedness, if that's a word, backfired on him most spectacularly was in the Danny Garcia fight, because he was once again wound up and riled up by Angel Garcia, Danny's dad, at the pre-fight press conference. And Khan took the bait. He started saying, "I'm going to knock your son out." And he got himself off his game plan. Freddie Roach had said he wanted Khan to move. Khan got in there and tried to slug with Danny Garcia. He was going for the knockout. And he ended up getting himself caught and knocked out himself. So, a perfect example of how Khan allowed an opponent to get under his skin, and it was to his detriment. Will he do the same here with Phil LaGreco? Now, I've been and watched a couple of LaGreco fights. Namely, I've watched the 2 losses that he's had in his career against Errol Spence and Sean Porter. And I have to make a correction here. I've got no idea where I read this or where I saw it. I got no idea why I thought Phil LaGreco was a southpaw. He's not a southpaw. I think I said that in my previous video about this fight. LaGreco is not a southpaw, so apologies for making that mistake. He's an orthodox fighter. And I mentioned the fact that Amir Khan's very good against southpaws. We can throw all of that out the window now, because LaGreco's no southpaw. He is kind of a chunky, not necessarily in a fat way, but just a stocky built fighter. He's quite ruggedly built, orthodox guy, seems tough, took a lot of punishment in the Sean Porter fight and in the Errol Spence fight. Even though the Errol Spence fight ended fairly early, he never went down against Spence. He did go down against Sean Porter a couple times, but to me, he still seems like he has a pretty good chin. As I say, ruggedly built and seems durable. In terms of the negatives, he seems very slow. Didn't appear to have any great power from those 2 fights anyway. Didn't display any great power and seemed very slow. Seemed pretty basic. But this is Amir Khan we're talking about here. And just because he don't show any power against Sean Porter and Errol Spence, it don't mean he don't have enough power to hurt Amir Khan, especially a Khan whose chin has been dented numerous times. So this could be a fun fight, people. If Khan can stop Lo Greco, that'll be a good performance. But I think I heard Khan say in an interview this week that he's not going to try and stop Lo Greco. He's just going to box his way to a points victory. I think he did say that in one of the interviews that he did with, one of the YouTube channels. So we'll see. That's what he should be aiming for. If he's aiming for a knockout, he could find himself in trouble again. So he's going to have to box and keep Lo Greco out there. Now, Khan has always had an issue, in my view, with physical strength. He's not that physically strong. And we saw that against Chris Algieri. Chris Algieri, not a puncher. Chris Algieri is a guy who's used to being pushed around by other fighters. Ruslan Chagayev bullied him. Manny Pacquiao bullied him. But yet when he fought Amir Khan, he looked like George Foreman in there in terms of physical strength. So Lo Greco might be able to bully Khan in a similar way. Also, Lo Greco talked about his losses and said that he didn't have much time to prepare, particularly for the Errol Spence fight. Whereas here against Khan, he's got like 3 months to prepare. So yeah, I have to imagine they're going to be formulating a game plan where they're going to be applying relentless pressure on Amir Khan. That has to be the game plan. He must have seen the Algieri fight. He must know the things that bother Amir Khan. So yeah, I imagine he's going to go all out, attack Khan, put lots of pressure on him, and try and test that weak chin of his. So it could be a fun fight, people. Could be a fun fight. And at first, when I saw the videos pop up of Khan throwing this glass of water in Lo Greco's face, I thought, I wonder if Eddie Hearn has put him up to this. I wonder if this is a contrived situation. And it might have been a contrived situation, but I don't think it was contrived on Amir Khan's side. I think that was Khan's genuine reaction. I could be wrong, but I feel like that was his genuine reaction. Whereas Lo Greco, maybe he got whispered in his ear, maybe Hearn whispered in his ear and said, talk some trash. But then again, maybe not. Maybe that's just how Phil Lo Greco is. Because again, once we heard the name Phil Lo Greco, people were like, who the hell's he? This is a poor matchup for Khan. That's what a lot of people were saying. I mean, me personally, I don't see the problem with him fighting a Phil Lo Greco coming back from 2 years out and a knockout defeat. But a lot of people were saying, who the hell is this guy? And Lo Greco has remedied that by talking as much trash as he did at the press conference. So that will definitely help sell tickets. If there was going to be any issue with filling out the Echo Arena, I think that issue is going to be eliminated by how much trash Phil Lo Greco was talking at this press conference. He's going to help boost the ticket sales, boost the viewership on Sky. It's not going to be pay-per-view, I don't believe, is it? This particular fight. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it's pay-per-view. I think it's normal Sky. So yeah, the viewing figures are going to be boosted by Lo Greco's antics and Khan's antics. And it's always fun and games with Amir Khan. Almost everybody he fights, it turns into fun and games because his opponents always come with lots of ammunition and lots of fuel to the press conferences. Because a lot of the time, let's be real, Khan brings it on himself. And I know people, again, don't like the things that Phil Lo Greco said, but he's only as good as the material that he has to work with, and Khan gives him so much material. And it's not like Lo Greco's some keyboard warrior who's going to talk smack to Khan and then hide behind his keyboard. No, this is a guy who's going to fight him. So, all's fair in love and war, man. The guy's actually going to fight him, so let him talk the trash he's talking as far as I'm concerned. Again, he's not directly going at Khan's wife or Khan's family. He's just bringing up things that Khan has said. And I don't see what's so controversial about that. Of course, it's savage because he aimed to embarrass Khan and get under his skin, and he did so successfully. But I don't think he was being out of line, Lo Greco. He's only bringing up things Khan has said. If Khan didn't want people to discuss those things that he said, He shouldn't have said it on social media. Why is Khan airing his dirty laundry in public for millions of people to read? You understand what I'm saying? So let me know how you felt about it in the comment section below. The press conference, Phil LaGreco. And how do you think this fight is going to go if you've looked at Phil LaGreco's fights? Do you think he poses any danger to Amir Khan? Let me know how you feel in the comment section, people. It's Satman, I'm out.